Well, hi there, I'm Noah Bradley, and this is Handmade House TV. On this week's episode, I wanted to share with you a little bit about what's going on in my own personal life and also share with you a few thoughts with regard to the current coronavirus epidemic. So please stay tuned. Well, all right, welcome back to Handmade House TV. Let me start by saying that I hope that all is well with you, that you remain healthy and strong, and somehow or another you get through this current pandemic that we're going through. You're one of those who slides through, you don't get sick, your health remains strong, and that any employment situation you have going on is easy to get through and easy to correct, and that we all get back to normal. Today I've chosen to do a little bit of filming here in a tree that I planted in my yard a few years ago. And yeah, please pardon any shortcomings with regard to audio quality, that I'm a little bit closer to the road than I normally am when I film. So you might hear a car going by. You also might hear a nearby waterfall that's going on, that's giving a constant drone in the background. But also because I'm filming in front of this crabapple tree, that there's a lot of insect activity, and I'm so encouraged, first of all, by nature rebounding as it does every year. The cycle goes on. When you get outside, you feel so refreshed and encouraged that whatever you're going through now is seasonal. Somehow or another, we move on to the next phase of life. Also that with regard to the crabapple, it's just loaded with honeybees and bumblebees this year. And we've all been concerned about the population of honeybees declining, and we've also been discouraged with bumblebees, which are both vital insects with regard to the propagation of crops and fruit trees. And here we're just loaded with them. Matter of fact, you're probably going to see one land on me before long here, because this thing is really buzzing. One of the things that I'd just like to point out to you, I'm getting perhaps already off topic, is that if I have a Facebook group called Log Cabins. Has I think it's 70 or 80,000 members now, and one of the most popular topics that keeps coming up is people having problems with wood borer bees in the spring drilling holes in their log cabins. I've never had that problem before, and one of the reasons that I don't have that is that I choose to work with species of wood on my log cabins that are not prone to insect damage. If you're going to use some kind of white soft wood, whether or not that's white cedar or hemlock or aspen, or it's going to be a whole lot more prone to insect damage, where if you work with hardwood species, you're just not going to have that issue. But if you choose to go with a type of wood that is prone toward having wood borer bees, then you're going to spend your money as the years go by, your time and resources, in order to applying, a lot of people do, insecticides to their log cabin in order to keep the insects, the bees, from doing that. And in the process of doing that, you're killing these valuable honeybees and bumblebees as well. So please, if you're building a log cabin from scratch and you're building in an area that's has a problem with wood borer bees, choose a species of wood that won't have that problem. But anyway, I wanted to really emphasize to you that there are some politicians that say, "Oh, never let a disaster go to waste. Always try to somehow or another benefit from that." And generally, that means we as citizens end up getting the short end of the stick. But it's also a good idea for us in life that whenever we're going through challenging times, to try to figure out how we can benefit from that. And I would just encourage you, I've been doing the same thing, and that is reflecting on where you are in life, on what your priorities are. And if you have a priority to build your own home out in the countryside and you haven't moved forward on that, now's a wonderful time to be taking advantage of that. You can be looking for land that you can get on Zillow online or do that. You can take a drive out to the country, drive around, take a look at parcels. It does appear that we are heading towards some kind of economic recession as a result of what's currently going on, and that likely we're going to see lower interest rates. We're going to see more bargain opportunities to have out to buy a parcel of land in the countryside. I have greatly valued owning my little parcel of land where I'm going to build my next house, that I can go there. The closest I am to any other human being is a quarter to a half a mile away. It's the world of the coronavirus has disappeared entirely. The world goes on. The birds still sing, the trees still bloom. It's wonderful. It's a place that you can get exercise. It's a place that you can continue to work on your future dream home. One of the things that I've done here recently is that I went ahead and I took down the stone fireplace that I built here at my current home for the Stonemason Academy video course that I created. And I took it down and I loaded it into my pickup truck and I took it to my property. And there I'm going to use that stone fireplace in this future timber frame writer's cabin that I'm going to be building for the Timber Framing Academy that I'm trying to put together. And of course I put it in a location that's close to the Timber Framing Academy structure that I'm going to be building, so that it was close enough that I didn't have to carry it any further than I had to, but not in the way. And of course, as fate would have it, I ended up relocating a little bit the location of the timber framing structure that I'm going to be putting up, and that meant that I had to move this little stone fireplace once again, and I'm just laying it on the ground in the shape of a fireplace now, so that I know exactly where each of the pieces go. I've numbered each of the stones, so I know exactly where they go back together, how they go back together, and in case each of the individual stones, I marked each one of them, and I have a little map on how it will go back within the timber framing structure I'm going to build. But wherever you are in life, no matter where you're at, if you're allowed to go outside, you can create one of these stone fireplaces yourself. You can have a form of exercise, and you're already contributing toward your future home. So that's a good possibility for you to do now. Things that you can keep in mind. You can perhaps be working on the floor plans of your future home. I'm currently trying my best to create videos, but it does appear that there are obstacles. They're constant. This virus thing going on, this period that we're in lockdown. It seems like no matter which steps we take, that we're constantly being met with some kind of roadblock. But that doesn't mean we need to stop doing what we're doing. It just means it's a little bit trickier. It's a little bit more challenging to do. One other advantage of owning a land and fulfilling and moving forward with your dream is that it's a wonderful form of exercise. You get outside, you got the sun going on, you got vitamin D building up in your body, which is a key ingredient in order to maintain our health. But also I'm getting all my exercise. If a gym membership is canceled, you don't know where to get exercise. Owning your own piece of land is a wonderful place to have, a wonderful possession to have. So I highly encourage that. Also, I'd like to share with you one little insight that I read recently. And I saw this online, and I thought this would be great for you. It said that back in the 1600s, after an outbreak of the bubonic plague, the University of Cambridge in England made the decision to close its doors for 2 years in an effort to reduce the plague. Isaac Newton had just completed his degree at the school at the time, but his budding academic career had to be put on hold because of the university's closure. In other words, he went through the same kind of thing that we're going through now. So rather than sitting on his couch and watching Netflix, he threw himself into independent study, retiring to a small farmhouse where he spent the next 2 years developing calculus, optics, and gravitational theory. In other words, some of Isaac Newton's most profound and lasting work came from his forced, quiet period that he went through in his life. So I would encourage you, and encourage myself, to try to make the best use of this time that we have now. Another thing that I'd like to share with you is my firm belief that you and I will get through this. This is not the end, that we will go forward, that we come from a strong stock of human beings, of our ancestors that came before us. We are the product of generations, of thousands of years, of the children of the survivors. All those individuals who made it through World War II, World War I, all of the plagues, all of the things that have cursed humanity, all of the struggles, we are the children of the survivors. Recently I came across this little image that of the individuals who came across on the Mayflower. And the first image was one of all of those who came across, and the second one was those who survived to celebrate the first Thanksgiving. And if you notice, there was quite a drop off of that. And we are the descendants of the survivors, and we too will be survivors of this upcoming plague that we have going on. So anyway, you guys take care. One of the things that you could consider in this time is to sign up for one of my Academy courses. Come on over to handmadehouses.com and sign up for one of them, or else perhaps sign up for the Guild membership, which will get you access to everything that I have created. There has definitely been a little bit of uptick in interest in my courses, and I guess that's because we have time. But one of the things that you can garner in this life, perhaps the only thing you can garner in this life that you can't lose, that people can't take away from you, that economic recessions can't deprive you of, governments can never rob you of, is what you know, is your knowledge base. And that's what I'd like to do in all of my Academy courses and in my Guild program, is to share with you what I've learned through several decades of building unique handmade houses, including log cabins, stone, and currently I'm working on the Timber Framing Academy. It's coming along, but again, I'm meeting my share of obstacles in that. Before we go, I would like to thank a few new members of the Handmade House Guild, and I do apologize to everybody that they have been piling up, so I've got quite a few, but for today I'll just share just a few. Top on the list is Brett Davis and all of his wonderful children. Thank you so much, Brett, for joining, and for your pride you have in your children. It's a great thing. Ben Ivy, Jason Gates, Tony Hoffman. He's my hero. He's done a lot to help our website be much improved over what it used to be. If you're in doubt, come check it out. He's an amazing young man. And Ralph Morris. Ralph, thank you so much for joining us in the Guild, and I look forward to sharing with you. I'm going to try to stand in front of this tree for a little while longer and pump out a few more videos of viewer questions. Some people really think that the viewer questions are of great importance, and they find them very interesting, and perhaps the questions that others are asking are the ones that you need answers to as well. And I get quite a few of them. You're welcome to send me questions anytime. My email address is noah@handmadehouses. And sometimes it takes me a while to answer a question. Please keep your questions to one question. And when I respond to it, and I thank you is always nice, not a follow-up with 6 more questions. But I love answering. I love to help people. That's the reason I'm doing this. And is to help you and help you through this period. Anyway, my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family as you're facing this current situation. We're going to all get through it, and life is going to be better than ever. Anyway, you guys take care. We'll see you in the next video. Bye now.